Howdy, folks. Welcome back to another episode of Psycho Clown World. We're going to do a little deep dive on some world events, things going on, and things that we see coming. We're going to start off with this little video right here.
You truly believe, then, that nonviolence is the sole, the universal answer to injustice and oppression?
Very definitely. It's very definitely. I feel that nonviolence, organized nonviolent resistance is the most powerful weapon that oppressed people can use in breaking loose from the bondage of oppression. Nonviolent resistance that does resist. It is dynamically active. It is passive physically, but it is strongly active spiritually. I admire freedom fighters wherever they are.
Enough is enough. We're going Dutch.
So, for those of you who are not aware, there's a lot of stuff going on over in the Netherlands. Farmers are protesting. They're literally taking to the streets. As you've seen, there's been protests. There's actually been gunfire by the police shooting at the farmers. It's all kinds of crazy pandemonium. And like you're saying, Figgy, whoever did the video, they did a fantastic job.
Yeah, I agree. I think just very phenomenally well put together, simple and very to the point.
Yep, very much so. And you said that was a friend of yours that's involved with that, Jenny?
Yes, and she lives in the Netherlands. So, I mean, she grew up on a farm out there too. She's Dutch. So this stuff is really going on, and it's very emotional for her, but it's strong because it really needs to. I mean, she's like, I just felt the pull to do this, and it needs to be seen all over the world. We need to recognize that this stuff really is happening, and that people need to get their heads out of the sand and stand up.
Absolutely, yeah.
Peace, not violence, but peace.
Yeah, exactly. And actually, one of our good friends, Nonconformista, she actually lives over in the Netherlands and lives in a star fort town, like literally right inside of a star fort. And she goes around, takes readings, she does pictures. She was on Rob's channel, Esoteric Nights of Malta, and with Rob, and did a really good presentation on there. And actually, I'd love to have her on here because she's boots on the ground. She sees it going on. She knows what's going on, and it's pretty crazy. And in the video, what you guys saw there, you guys saw those boats, those fishing rigs coming in out of the waters. Well, they're joining it as well. Germany, they're joining up with the Dutch to do the same thing. In Romania, there's actually fields that are catching on fire, and I've got different videos and stuff to show us here in just a little bit. But stuff is really happening, folks. In fact, there's also reports in China that banks are running out of money and they're closing stuff up. In Sri Lanka, they stormed the central bank of Sri Lanka and took over the president's home. And literally the people that went over took it. They're swimming in his pool, staying in his home. It is getting to be insane. And when you start to really put all these things together and you look at it, and this is something that Figgy and I've been really jumping on board with this probably in the last 2 weeks. Figgy, you've been on it a little bit longer than I have. Is when we start talking about the black hats and the white hats. And, I'm still kind of like, well, I'm still kind of reserved just to, for a little while, I was kind of reserved. We'll kind of see what happens with it. But then when you start looking at things, you go, wow, it's right in our face. And what was one of those things that you put in our face there, Figs?
Well, so you have, I'll just start out with telling you, you have your Masonic checkerboard. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You have your black and white squares.
I'm actually about to Google and pull that up.
Okay. Don't forget your capital M. So
yes, I will.
With that, one of the things that has really been bugging me a long time is none of it has really felt right to me. Not what we consider the good side or what we consider the bad side. It's all seems like very much a game to me. And I knew it was
my God.
Okay, we're recording again. Sorry.
Okay. So the concept that has really come through clearly for me is you have your dark side. They're exposing the dark, okay? And what they're saying is that they are the light and that the light is coming. But you have your black squares and your white squares. They're two sides to the same coin, in my opinion. They're exposing the dark so they will look like light. So their new agenda from dark to light, it's all over the Masonic artwork. I'm not sure if I'm articulating myself correctly. It's just really kind of that simple. They're two sides to the same coin. If they expose the darkness, they look like the light. We are being ushered as a whole into rejecting the Great Reset to embrace the new age of enlightenment.
Right now,
But
here we are. Here we are. Can you guys see the screen?
No, you have. Yes, now we can.
Okay, so now we're looking. Right now, we're looking at a Mason Lodge. Okay, and here you've got your classic checkerboard floor, black
5D
symbolizing
chess.
black. Yeah, chessboard, checkerboard. It's in colors. Yeah, black representing black hats, white representing white hats. They're both playing the same game, and it's not necessarily one against the other. But the thing is who do you think is in charge of the chessboard? The Freemasons are trying to be in charge of the chessboard, of seeing of playing things out, even though one is going to win over at least it's going to have the illusion that one is going to win over the other. But correct. Either way, it's them pulling the strings, them playing the game.
Think about how indoctrinated we've been from ever. For as long as, my entire life, you go to the movies, you watch the movies, and you have your bad guy, and then your good guys are triumphant. Your books, bad guys, good guys are triumphant. It's literally the same concept that they're playing out in front of our eyes, right? And think of all their catchphrases. You're watching a movie. Well, you're watching a movie because it's all a play. It's all characters playing against each other, but they're playing for the same team.
Yep, exactly. And I mean, here you've got your coffin here, it's obviously symbolizing death. Your chessboard, because they're the ones playing the game. Your white hats and your black hats, they're playing this game. And then, of course, you've got a rainbow, or dome, as some people would call it. But I see a rainbow there. But look at right here. What is this? What is this little item?
That would be a spacecraft.
Oh, look at that. A spacecraft. What? This almost looks like it would be a fairy of some sort.
Or an angel.
Or an angel of sorts. You've got your all-seeing eye, the sun, but then you've got light coming out of this. And here you've got 7 stars, your Pleiadian. 7 stars. Yeah, 7 stars of the Pleiadians. You've got your moon over here facing the moon, which is actually kind of interesting. But then, of course, your all-seeing eye, seeing everything. So
look at the top of the 2 pillars. There's a crescent moon on one side, and then the other one is not.
Right here, yep. And here there's not. Yeah, crescent moon. And actually, this looks like the exact shape of the crafts that some of them that I get on Seeds on Stereo Ahead. They're crescent moons.
Mm-hmm.
It's all right in our face, man. It's like, oh my gosh, are you?
Well, I mean, even think about it. If they run around and they're in, like I say, the 5D chess, they're constantly talking about how Trump is playing 5D chess. We're looking at a chessboard.
Yeah, for sure. Now look at this. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 steps, and then and then you got the top 5 steps, 5D chess. What is this over here? Do you guys see this? Look at this. What is this?
That's actually 6 steps.
Well, is the 6th one considered a step, or is it just the top?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah,
I
that's
get
true.
6 too.
Okay, yeah. Well, when I look at when you go upstairs and you reach the top, it's not the
Fair.
top step; it's just the top. You know what I mean?
Fair.
But that's just how I looked at it. I mean, and then you've got tic tac toe thing or things being interwoven. You've got
Jacob's
this looks like
ladder.
a feather. Yep, you got
Ladder.
Jacob's ladder.
Jacob's ladder. Yeah.
But what is this right
cube.
here, you guys? Look at this. What is this?
The
Looks
arc.
like farmland, doesn't it?
Now this
like
right here, that is an arc,
Looks like
and with water symbolizing a flood that's coming.
Well, look over.
it could be the
above
arc,
the
but I
ladder.
don't know about that. Yeah.
Look above the ladder. That's a cube.
Mhm.
Yep, that's a cube, and
If you were
actually,
to put that together, it's a cube.
it's also the letter Y for Giannis.
There.
And then you've got his
Ugh.
pillars here, Giannis pillars. But one of the things that I'm actually looking at when I see these two, this one's giving off light, this one's giving off light. So this is our sun, this is our moon. Is this our second sun? Where the all-seeing eye that put the Black Knight satellite up in space, being the Nibirians, those from Nibiru, the Anunnaki, which Anunnaki can be a multiple race of beings, but specifically from Nibiru, our second sun, and as it's passing, there's a lot of symbology that goes along with this.
Well, so while we're here with this Masonic view in front of us, a lot of people talk about the Great White Brotherhood or Saint Germain. And
Here we go.
Saint Germain is actually a Masonic character that they have deified.
Mhm.
Okay. You can look it up. There's all types of, like, I was sending you coins with Saint Germain on it. So
Yeah, I was actually going to get to that.
I know. Sorry, I'm impatient.
Yeah, I know.
So I went into an anagram solver, okay, and I put in Saint Germain, and I get this: maintainers and reanimating.
Weird.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty interesting, wasn't it? So if you re-scramble the letters of Saint Germain, you get these.
So could this be Saint Germain, and he's holding like a cross?
Possible. You also have to remember they're pumping up the Lord Sananda as well, which is also tied.
Oh yeah, Sonata. Yeah.
Sonata, whatever. It's also tied to the Masonic Brotherhood.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting stuff, I think. I don't know.
Very much so. And then if you look over here, what do we got right here? 5-pointed star. See it right over here?
Mhm. What's in the
Oh,
middle?
yeah.
Is that a C?
Yeah.
Letter C?
Either a C or it could be the letter G.
Blurry.
That's yeah. It's very common for them to put the G in there, for like God. But really, flip this upside down.
Always do that with these.
Yeah, flip it upside
yeah.
down. What do you got? Upside down star. So this would be the chin, the beard,
As
and the
above
horn.
as below.
Yep, as above, so
Jimmy,
below.
Your whole you're in a different atmosphere in this world than I am. So I need to ask you, what are your feelings on, so this has all kind of hit me within the last few weeks in these great crashes of epiphanies. And my question to you is, what is it that you feel in regards to anything that I'm saying? And I'm not looking for you to agree or disagree, or do you, I'm not sure how to word it.
Don't worry, I have a hard time wording things too sometimes.
Oh, I know, right? Like, because
Okay.
I don't need you to agree with me. I guess
No.
maybe, do you feel like we're starting to see a little bit more of this puzzle unfold, where
Yes.
I know I had asked you before whether there's good entities and bad entities, and I still believe that there are both, like you had said before.
It's polarity, it's duality. That's why you always see the two pillars.
Yeah.
walking through gateways, doorways. Yeah, there's I've been feeling this for a while with all of it, because I've been following it for a long time too, the Freemasons and everything else. I mean, just to bring it up to, if you guys are researching it, which, I always recommend people to do. I do it just to verify and give validity to what I'm seeing. But the Freemasons also have a woman's Freemason too. So you got men and the women. So you got female, male, and they're both and Mountain, I know she's not here, but she had a vision or heard a voice say goat throat. I don't know if you guys have ever ever heard of that. And what brings to mind and what comes up to is that Freemason's been around for a long time. And also, when I did a channeling last night, mind you, Knights Templar came up. I mean, it goes back to the Knights Templar. I mean, it goes way back. They're holding a lot of information. They have all this stuff. It's just new technology, new ways of doing this. How I feel about it, I feel that there is goodness to it, but there's also a tinge of bad. And I don't, just like anything else, like what we're seeing now, in the now, is betrayal, deceit,
Absolutely.
secret societies coming out. We've known about rituals for a long time, paganism. I mean, it goes way back, but things are being exposed, which is good. This is a good thing. It needs to be seen. But
well, wouldn't this be, oh, I'm sorry. Wouldn't this
no,
be,
go ahead.
Wouldn't this just be them ushering, because we know that they want their golden age, right? So if they take us, they kept us in dark, and now they bestow upon us all this esoteric wisdom, all these things that they've kept from us. They're ushering us into the age of enlightenment, their golden age.
Yeah. Now, have you guys heard? I don't know if you guys I kind of have my fingers kind of dabbling all over the place, and I'll be honest. Sometimes I'm like, I really need a bigger head to store some of this data. It's like but so a couple days ago, Zimbabwe, their parliament or Congress, however, whatever they have over there, they actually voted and passed their currency to be backed by gold. Gold-backed currency in Zimbabwe. Guess what the United States Senate did 2 days ago as well? Same thing. Gold-backed currency. Right here in the U.S. They're already starting the transitions, because they know that fiat's going to crash. They know it is. They're already passing stuff so they can have their backups, and so they can have that rainbow dollar. That's why banks already have the rainbow dollar in their vaults. They've already got them ready to start issuing. Now that it's been passed, I think that rainbow dollar is going to come out real soon. I mean, they're on the move. The world is starting to move that way.
Yes, and you have to really sit there and look at all of it. Like the value of a dollar, what is it? But if you want to know what's going on, you follow the money always. Where is it going? Where it leads? It's all pretty much dark.
Yeah,
to me.
Chris Tucker said it very well in Rush. I think it was either Rush Hour 2 or Rush Hour 3. Follow the rich white man. Follow the rich white man. You'll follow them. You follow the money trail. You follow that money, and you'll start seeing what's really going on here. Yes. And they've been telling us stuff in movies, folks. Follow the rich white man. Well, who are the richest white men that we know of? The Rothschilds. Follow the rich white man. They've been telling us in movies, giving us little lines of things to do. And how many of us just were like, oh, okay, that's just kind of cute, and we didn't really think like, holy cow, they're literally telling us what to do, and it's insane.
Well, it's being exposed now. I think a lot more people are waking up. It's just how many are really going to wake up to see the truth.
Yeah, like wake up. Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah. So many people that, like they'll wake up and they'll notice they know about this. They'll, like I know someone who and she's got 6 kids and she knows all about vaccinations. No, I'm not going to get vaccinated, but when it comes to other things going on in the world, like she doesn't want to hear about it. She's like, no, I don't want to hear. Just let me live in my bubble. She's literally said, I'd rather just live in my bubble. What?
Yeah, putting the head in the sand.
Yeah, like you got 6 kids. You want to live in a bubble of illusion or delusion?
No, those are the people that are going to fall behind and stay within the 3D matrix, the 3D stuff. I mean, I've noticed that there's a big change in the ethereal, which is, you know, in the air, our sphere. You know,
Oh, yeah.
I sometimes feel, I mean, I'm just like everybody else. I start feeling like down and depressed. I'm like, is anything going to change? You know, I just wish it would just change. But um, there is stuff coming, but it's a gradual progress. You know, you can't just slam it on and, you know, but what would it really take? Would it take a big catastrophe for everybody just to say, you know, because usually sometimes things don't happen until it happens to you personally.
Mm-hmm.
Um, uh, but this stuff you cannot deny. It's all over. I mean, I think like Biden, the Hunter Biden and all them, you know, coming up, it's so disgusting, but it goes so much deeper than just them. It's a
Oh yeah.
bigger picture.
Oh yeah.
See,
It's been
this
going
And
on for decades.
yes,
this is where I get super conspiracy theory, and I really believe that it's just that
Bring it on.
same side exposing the dark side so everybody embraces what they consider to be the light side. It is such an easy manipulated game
Yep.
because really everything right now is so disgusting that any new way is going to look like a positive way.
Yep. I
well,
agree.
you got to get past the mirrors of illusion. They like to cast those a lot. And when I
Yeah,
was
yeah.
channeling last night, I got the gesture and the cards, meaning that they're playing their cards. If secret societies, if you watch about rituals and everything, because I followed that for a while, just to find out where this darkness was coming from or why it was. But I also got the cubes, and bow and arrow.
I got some cubes to show you guys here in a minute.
Yeah, and bow and arrow. And there's just and the sun. There's a lot of stuff coming out of the sun, and they're blocking it. They're blocking information from us. And I don't really care for that all that much. In a previous channeling I did, because I do radio frequency channeling sometimes, and I don't recommend that to everybody, but I get a lot of information from it, whether it be dark, good, it's both. And I dig deep, you know, and I got a lot about the core of the earth. Nobody seems to they want to pay attention to space. Of course you do. You want to look up in the sky, but there's stuff below the ground that people don't even know about that are just, I mean, that's where the real rabbit holes are.
Well, yeah,
And
and
yeah,
tunnels and dumbs and all kinds of interconnecting webs. Absolutely. And the thing is I'm kind of glad you mentioned that because there was actually a movie that came out and it had Dennis Quaid and I think Steve Martin. No, not Steve Martin. Martin Short. You remember the movie Inner Space? It had Meg Ryan in it as well.
yes,
Yeah.
that was a long time ago.
Yeah, I know. I'm kind of dating myself here. But yeah, of course we should be looking into outer space. As you can see my green screen here, outer space. But there's also an inner space. Keeping your eyes in space doesn't just mean looking up here. It also means looking because there's space inside the earth, inner space, and also in here, inside of ourselves, inner space. There's outer space and inner space. Outer, like right now, every place that's around me is out of space. It's out of my personal space. So it's trying to keep an eye and your mind open for all things, and it can be a little overwhelming at times. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on underground. Is there other underground complete facilities and civilizations? Yep, 100%. Our Earth is not solid; it is hollow.
Yes. Well, they've been trying to hide that too. I mean, there's like you look at stones, ancient places on this planet that are rising up too. I mean, I've seen a lot of archaeological stuff coming up, like relics and everything like that.
Oh yeah.
So they're starting to show themselves, and there are spirit energies that are coming through to help us, but people just don't see it. They don't feel it.
Yeah.
And it comes from below as above, and so it's like all interconnected. And if you just center yourself through the chaos, you'll start to understand. But yeah, it's a lot for the masses to accept this, and it's not going to come just with a big whammy. It's going to come gradually, I should say.
Yeah.
But it is picking up in pace. Us that are probably, I don't like to really categorize it so much, but everybody's in their own perceptions and their own beliefs, and the suppression has been for so long.
Oh yeah.
So it's going to take everybody a little bit of time to digest all of this information.
Yep.
But us that have been awoken for a while, it's like, hey man, I'm waiting. Come on, let's just get this going, you know?
Oh yeah. Now
But
check
we
this
have
out.
to take our time too. It's a lot of information for me sometimes.
I know I'm doing a share screen here, and this is to kind of let you know all the different areas that they have us. We're going to watch this really quick. It's like a minute 40.
Yep, Houston, we got a problem. Now check this shit out. I bought this brand fish. It said it's supposed to be wild caught, right? Wild caught from Ecuador. Now I ain't knocking nobody
Skin on.
but this just don't seem kosher to me. Now
Yes.
watch this. This is a slice of fish. This is supposed to be whitey. It's got skin on every. Thirds of it is like a diaper material. Look at that. You know, like a wet diaper? Right? Now watch this. Now where do you know a fish, you can squeeze it like a sponge like this? Where on the planet you know you can squeeze a fish like that? Now look, put it back in the water, and it's whole again. It's a fish. See? Get another slice. Now, in my time growing up, I never seen a whitey fish this fucking big. Well, I know it probably got them, but I ain't never seen them like this right here. And look, it's all the same. You squeeze it like a sponge, and you put it in the water, and it's a whole fish again, right?
What do you guys think of that?
It doesn't surprise me,
No.
I mean, they
but
got
that's
their hands
disgusting.
into our food and into all kinds of this. Now, check this out, folks. I wanted to show you guys this. This is how they've been starting forest fires, using direct
that.
energy weapons, which are attached to the front of aircrafts, and then they blame it on the heat. This is exactly how they do it. I have actually seen this on video myself of it actually starting a fire up near Oregon and Washington and in Canada. Okay, I've seen it on because they have cameras that you can overlook certain areas, and the cameras were facing right in that, and bam, and you can see it. I've seen it. This is not a make believe made up story. No, this is real stuff. This is really how they do it. So a lot of your fires that you see, you're not going to see anybody out with matches running around alongside the highway tossing stuff out. They're doing it from the skies because you're not looking up, which is why we keep saying look up. Now this was going on. The whole fire in Rome, there was a lot of stuff going on. The Vatican was on fire, but actually there was a tire factory, and this is an archaeological park that actually did end up catching fire. So this whole Rome burning, and that it was the Vatican. Now the Vatican obelisk did get hit, one of them anyways, but I don't think it was right in Vatican Square myself. This is another thing of how they actually changed our dates. 1582, look at this, from October 4th to October 15th. 10 days of darkness when we went from the Julian calendar to the Gregorian calendar. So what do you think is going to happen when we go back from the Gregorian calendar to the Julian calendar? We're going to, again, that's where the 10 days of darkness comes from. What do you guys think of that?
Well, actually, so I looked into this 10 days of darkness thing a lot. And I know, like, you're referring to Q, right? Or are you referring to just this calendar?
Yeah, well, both, because that's really where the Q and the anons, the QAnon, that's where that comes from. The 10 days of darkness. That's what they're referring to. Is actually it happened back in 1582.
This is actually really. This is people manifesting, like, you know, when they sit down and they read certain things and then they just turn it into what they want. Q actually never said 10 days of darkness. It was 10 days, and then it was a misspelling of darkness to like darn kiss or something like that. So there was never actually, if you go and look at the Q proofs, there was never actually a 10 days of darkness spoken about.
I've seen that all. I've seen that quite a bit. Speaking of the 10 days of darkness and stuff.
Yeah. But you can go back. I think I sent you a long time ago where you can look up all the old Q proofs and you can find it.
Okay. And this is one of their things. They're actually warning blackout storm is now, saying that things are going to be shut down. Now, here's the thing. I've been noticing, my friend Teresa, she actually has a downage app where her bank has gone down. Facebook has gone down. Lots of different things are going down all over the place. All the time, like the last few days, things have been going down, and it's like, what in the world? Now, check this out. This is in the Netherlands. Did you guys know about the Bill Gates supermarket?
Heard about that.
getting burned down. Have you guys heard that?
Yeah. Everything's on
Yeah.
fire again.
I'm sorry, say that
I
again.
was going to say there's everywhere's on fire again.
Oh yeah, NASA SpaceX. This one actually got my attention. Have you guys seen this yet? This is came off of the top of this, but like on the edge. But this is a pretty good. But this thing actually catches up to them. Watch this. Tell me if this wouldn't make you. This is gonna think to have us summer.
Is it my internet that's all messed up, or is it Jacob?
No.
I didn't even know you were going to show this. Yeah, you guys are breaking up. Oh my. Holy crap balls. Get under the rocks.
Yep, exactly. Could you imagine going through that? I mean, this right here, folks, I mean, this is a hot summer's day. You would not think started recording and here comes an avalanche.
I didn't even know you were going to show this. And last night, my Red Chargers channeling, I got mountain goat.
Well, guess what? Mountain goat passes. Mm-hmm. Now, have you guys seen this video?
Yes, I have.
Okay, have you seen it, Figs?
Yeah, so this is the border wall clapping thing, right?
Yes, the wall is in. Check this out. But what they do is they take a speaker and they put a speaker. The whole thing resonates at the same frequency of 432. It's like vibrating. And look at, they put their head right in between. They're like, he's like, holy crap! It's the whole thing just starts.
Can they register how many hertz is coming out of that?
I have no
It's a
idea.
high frequency.
Oh yeah. Now watch this. You guys hear that high pitch?
Yes.
The only other place I've ever heard this.
I want you guys to go check
pyramids
it
in
out. But the
Mexico.
pyramids in Mexico,
This is a
all of them,
phenomenon
the
that
stairways
people don't understand
up to
yet.
them,
We found it
they
at the
do
wall.
that too.
My theory is this whole thing's a tuning fork.
Here, sound comes back. Why it sounds like a bird? Don't ask me that, because we don't know. But this is really impressive. Experts from different countries, experts in acoustics, have come here to study, to try to know how this is possible. They leave the country just like they.
It works all four sides the same.
Used to be. Now only two. Yeah, the north and the west. You see?
Now I know what they mean.
Steps, and when the sound of the
I got birdie too last night. Birdie, and you hear it sounds like a bird. It's the
Right.
sound.
Yeah,
Yes.
but we noticed when he was off to the side, you didn't hear it. But then as soon as he gets right in front of it, you can hear it. So yeah, there's all kinds of like things are happening and being put in place. That's really
But the stairways, look at the stairways of how the pyramids are, like in the Sumerian, and also, I mean, these are different countries, and these pyramids in Mexico, in Peru and stuff. The staircase that goes up, you see it all in the Freemasons and stuff. They have stairs. It's all about stairs, so it must be, and they always have marble, and they're the pillars. I mean, they're trying to with sound frequency and stuff too. Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
And now here, this one is kind of going on a little bit more about chemtrails being revealed. I mean, look at this before, but look at this little thing about our hidden history. We've had electric cars are not a new thing. They were actually back Model T, and now where they're coming out with the electric car. What the crap happened? Can anybody explain that? Then with the Model T to going with gas and diesel that we're not familiar about, like what happened?
Don't get me started
yeah,
on
don't
that.
get me started on it either. I mean, do you believe in time time travel and everything else? It exists.
I think as giants, we're looking at the unicycle. I mean, the motorized unicycle. I mean, look at it here. And then just a few years ago, hovering crafts. How do we not have that today?
I personally cover up. It's an easier explanation than what the truth is. So all of that.
I'm sorry. Say that again.
Oh, I was saying that I don't believe that there was actually a mud flood. I think that's a cover up of the cover up. And I think that it's an easier way than trying to allow people to understand that there was other type of catastrophe that happened in that time frame. And then, I mean, there's pictures of cities that were completely desolate. Explain to me how archaeologists have proven, well, for as much as we can believe anything that they give us information wise, but they say that they have proven that entire civilizations disappeared, and left all their belongings behind, and there was no bones. Right around that same time frame. I mean, so there's a lot of stuff that I think leads me to believe that, there just wasn't just this big old mud flood catastrophe.
Oh yeah. Now, for those of you who don't really watch a lot of mainstream media and know what's going on, that's kind of why we're coming here, to kind of show you guys, just to kind of get you up to date with a few things. Okay, I got another share screen I need to do here. I'm gonna go down here. Sorry, let me get there. All right. So getting back to our farmers, can you guys see the screen?
Mm-hmm.
Fire blazes as crops burn in Romania. Wheat fields mysteriously caught fire. They are destroying food supply. So that's Romania. This right here, RFID tags on the new $50 notes in Europe. So if you're in Europe and you have any of these new $50 notes, check it out. Hold it up to a light. Put a flashlight behind it and see if you can see these things. If you can confirm that, that would be fantastic. Check this out. Italian farmers are now rising. So this is really going on. Secret weather control. Yep, know all about that. Check this out. Crews responding to an explosion at a One Oak gas plant in Oklahoma. For those of you who haven't seen this before or don't know, Oklahoma is literally the central hub for our crude oil, and One Oak is one of the largest suppliers for Oklahoma for natural gas. Now, things can happen. Okay, being a former pipeline inspector, things can happen when it comes to cathodic protection specifically. If you have to redo the wiring. Basically, you're grounding the pipe because you have pipe that comes up out of the ground and goes in the ground. It has to be cathodically protected. And if it's not up to date, if you don't update that every so many years, as per standard, per regulation, you're at risk for lightning strikes and for charged particles and for your pipeline exploding. It could. I mean, that's what I see happening here, because if you have a leaking valve, or if you have a gasket that blew, it's going to blow out, really loud. I mean, people are going to hear it, especially at plants. You're going to know about it. But something like this, that's because usually there's no spark. You don't have anything that's going to have a spark around that kind of a plant. So it really kind of has to open your eyes. And then look at this. Oil spills, 200,000 gallons of crude oil in Tennessee spilling. I mean, I see them trying to take things out. Check this out. Massive protests have broken out in Albania and Kenya due to cost of living and collapsing fiat currency. Folks, this is happening worldwide. What do you guys think? What do you ladies think about this? India too. Look at that. India's going off.
I think that they predicted this with their lockstep program. I don't know what the end all be all will be. I don't know if it's going to work out the way that they planned it to work out. I hope it doesn't. But I'm pretty proud of the people that are standing up for freedom everywhere.
Oh yeah. People are getting sick of it. I mean, and it's going worldwide. And if you don't think it's coming here, you've lost your minds, folks. It's going to be here. Now, these were actually sent to me. Now, I want you guys to, I know you guys haven't seen this. This was sent to me by my friend Teresa. She was out driving. Check this out. You guys see those?
Yeah.
Now check this out. Those are straight out triangles.
Oh, jeez.
Hey, look at those.
That's right here in Texas. Right where she was out driving. I don't remember where she was going. She's like,
those are TR3Bs, aren't they? Those are TR3Bs.
Yeah,
that's what they look like.
TR3Bs, yep, flying around right here in southern Texas.
They're getting ready to put these out for people to see. And then they're going to say, well, there's nothing in outer space, but we've created.
Now, this was also sent to me. How accurate it is. SCOTUS has voted to overturn the 2020 election results. Justices have been placed into protective care, according to a recent leaked report. Now, that was on the 10th. Not sure how accurate that is, but it's kind of funny how all of a sudden, after they had their ruling, they did their Roe versus Wade, kind of like as the distraction. hey, look over here while people are upset over here, not even realizing it's been overturned.
Yeah, everybody needs to understand that those are distractions. Some of them are really just distractions. And they're like,
Yep.
what are they trying to distract you from? Yep.
Exactly. And then this one here, this is about the Prime Minister of Japan. How funny was it that he showed up to an event he wasn't even supposed to go to give a speech, and then he all of a sudden was shot with a shotgun, supposedly, but yet there's no exit wound and there's no massive damage. You just see blood on top of a shirt. I don't think he's dead. I think that was faked.
And there's also a lot of resignations right at the moment, too.
Oh, yeah. Now, have you guys seen this one yet? Reptilian shapeshifters' so-called art displayed outside a cemetery dedicated to Freemasons, so-called Jewish.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Ew.
Here, let's click on this.
Yeah, it is. They're all reptiles' eyes, but it is all. It's got that from the when you look at it, all different angles. They are all reptiles' eyes. This is reptilian skin. Yeah. But you'll notice these all look quite emancipated. They're like a hand. Yeah. It's sort of very long fingers and drabs over the fine. Yeah. They've got elongated neck and starving.
Very strange.
And of course, when you stand up,
as well.
Yeah.
You guys also happen to notice that this looks like a giant eye and a slit in an eye, almost like a serpent's eye, like that of a
Their whole
reptile.
children and Keen stuff.
Looks like the Roth. It looks like Schwab's face. I'm sorry.
Oh, Schwabby poo.
Schwabby poo, what are you doing sitting on that bench?
Right. Now, this is the whole Vatican Rome burning thing. Okay, so let's go ahead and what is your take on this, Jenny? What are you seeing happening here with everything? Like knowing
you have to. It would be to reach out to the people that actually live in these areas. Is this really happening? Because and it could be. I'm not saying that it's not.
Right.
But they can augment cameras and videos and all that kind of stuff. I mean, the technology is 120% like off the Richter. So I just kind of look at them like, wait a minute, I need to find out who's in that area and see if this is really happening. And sometimes I'll remote view it and I'll have my guides tell me something's happening and then I'll see it. Some of it I believe is smoke and mirror and illusion. That's what I've been getting a lot of, is the mirrored illusions. And if you look back in times like the Watchers, they're called Watchers, but they used to and some of them live in the ground, but they would show the people their faces in the mirror and make them look, but it's just, there's a lot there. But to me, I also got black goo. Does anybody know about black goo?
Oh boy.
Would that be oil? That's what seems to me would be oil, or the
actually
there could be a couple things.
Wait, explain to me with the black goo. How did you get the black goo?
I got that last night during my channeling. It just said black goo. And I'm like, okay, well, maybe that's what I need to mention today.
So am I allowed to talk about this, Jacob?
Go for it.
So black
Just
goo.
careful on your verbiage.
Black goo is a ferrofluid that can be magnetic. I'm trying to talk about it without talking about it. It's so hard.
It is.
It is a substance found in the earth that can be programmed. You can do a lot with it. We should talk a little bit in depth after, Jenny, when I can actually speak freely. And I will give you the lowdown of what black goo really is. But I also incidentally was able to find references to black goo in ancient scriptures as well.
Ooh. Really?
Yeah. I have the actual, like, I have it. They talk about it.
I would love.
Yeah, that's a subject on its own. And did you know that people used to, in the Victorian era, like 1800s, even a little bit further back, they used to eat mummies?
Yeah,
Flesh.
these people are really gross, aren't they?
What?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
They grind it up, eat it. Yeah, people have forgotten that dark magic and magic in itself still exists. It just back then they used to use these remedies and stuff like that. But who do you think was giving them these remedies, telling them it's going to make them whole again? You know, just anyways. Yeah.
Kind of brings up the I'm thinking if we're thinking about it around the same time era, it's kind of like the same where the same catchphrase comes from, snake oil. Like, the snake oil will cure you. Snake oil, tying back to cobra venom, tying back to Egypt, the pharaohs, the Egyptian gods, snake oil. Ugh. Oh, but eating dead people.
Well, cannibalism has been around for a long time, but I mean, sacrifices, everything else.
For sure. I mean, and honestly, now I'm a former Mormon, and if you think about this for a minute, now Mormons, they partake of bread and water, okay, symbolizing eating the body and drinking the blood of Christ. That's cannibalism.
Yes.
It's symbolic of cannibalism. Well, where did that, why did that even come into head? Well, it's being symbolic, like you're trying to have his power. You're eating his power. You're drinking his power. You're taking upon, and people don't even realize it. It's literally a form of symbolic cannibalism.
Well, they've openly admitted that the rich are taking blood. They're harvesting blood for therapies to make them younger.
Mm-hmm.
And they're blatantly putting it out there. So, it's like a recycling of souls in DNA body, all kinds of stuff. I mean, everybody wants to drink from the
fountain of youth.
Fountain of youth. They want to live forever.
Mm-hmm.
When they don't realize that you can live forever, just not in a DNA body.
Right. Well, we do live forever. That's the thing. Our soul, spirit, is an eternal.
It never fades.
We're not human beings on earth for spiritual and soulful experiences. We are spiritual beings on earth living a physical experience.
Period. Now, if you believe in reincarnation,
exists now, will exist later. Our soul continues.
But that's why, if you believe in reincarnation, that's why we ask to come back, is to have these experiences.
And to learn from our past, things we didn't learn. I didn't get that one quite right. I want to go back and I want to learn this part of it. I want to make.
And that's where, and that's where Akasha records come. Where you set your path because you don't remember when you're born. So, and I've always kind of questioned that a little bit. Like, why is there records being held about how you?
I think that's part of the Cabal's dark part of it, is to keep us, blinded, so that way we don't remember, so we continue to have those same mistakes, so we don't have the opportunity to learn and move on.
Exactly. They want us to stay in this dimension.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Exactly. Figs, you got anything to add on to that?
No. I think I agree with you guys, and I'm gonna find this scripture for you.
Perfect. Now, for those of you who don't know, this was from a few days ago. Look at this. Washington, D.C. on fire. Cars on fire due to power lines. Scary sight caused by storms in D.C. from storms from a couple of days ago. So this is going on all over. Now, this one here, this is when the Mountain took, and you actually sent to me here, Mountain. This is in California, folks. This was over the weekend?
During the week. It was a couple of days ago, wasn't it? Everything meshes into one another for me sometimes. Sorry.
Yeah, I know. It could have been from a couple of days ago, but basically you've got a craft and it looks like it's panning to the right. Is that correct?
Yeah, but here's the thing. Somebody had mentioned, because you had posted it on your channel. Because I'm open to, like, hey, can you explain to me what this is? And someone said it's the ISS. Well, I don't think that you would see the space station that close, because it was awfully close.
No, he was saying the ISS was the still photo with the.
But that's the same. This was the same thing. I think it just got blurry and it looked kind of like a TikTok, because what it did, I just all of a sudden I just looked up and I'm like, it was my, because I didn't have my glasses on, so it was my eyes going wonky, and I'm like, wait a minute, is that star moving? No, it's not. And it started moving, but it would stop.
Yeah.
In midair, and then it would start moving again. But these sometimes, and we've seen these ones before, where they get bright and then they dim and then they just disappear. that's not a star. That's not a satellite. And she also checked because she has an app to check FFA, the flights. It didn't register. So
now here's something. Now Figgy had made a mention about blurring. So like if you're taking a still photo, if your hand isn't stable, how it can kind of make this little blur like that. But here's one of the things that I'm actually noticing from looking, and I do agree that does happen. But usually when that happens, that would happen with this one. It would have happened with this one. It would have happened with this one, and they're not. This one. You see that?
Do you see like heat around it too? I'm just now noticing it with you blowing it up.
There is a ring around it. There's definitely a ring around it. I can see that ring around it. Now, here's one of the other things you may not be aware of. Well, actually, I think I told you about a little while ago.
You're breaking up.
But just this past weekend was the Mount Shasta gathering event with Alex Collier. Yeah, and a whole bunch of that was just this past weekend up at Mount Shasta. Do you not think there was some kind of UFOs flying around at that? Yeah, there was. And so, yeah,
there's many right now. And if, to open that discussion, I mean, in the ufology world, and Alex Collier has been around for a long time, and I kind of connect with him because I connect with Arcturians and Andromedans. So he's, I respect what he has to say. I mean, I've listened to him because I'm just coming into this stuff, with the beings. But I take my time to observe and also use my.
You know what the good.
Go ahead.
That got me distracted. But the fact that we're going to Mount Shasta too, Mountain and I, at the end of this month. Also that there's others like Elena Dana and on Michael Salas and stuff. They're saying that there's more crafts in our solar system, which is true because we felt them coming in. And you can see them coming out of the sun. They're everywhere, everywhere. And if you can't see them in this atmosphere, I don't know what to tell you because we've been seeing them. Yeah, but we've been asking. We don't.
Got to get out there and look. That's it.
Yes.
You just got to look up. Now, granted, you're not going to see them every time you look up, but
no,
eventually you're going to see them. I've shown so many pictures that I've had of not just satellite images, but I mean pictures of mine. That huge one with the huge DNA. It was a huge DNA helix. Explain that to me if you can. I mean, you know what I mean. But this right here. So this is where I know that things are really going on. Now, this guy here doesn't quite look like Robin Williams, but then when you consider that, when you look at this photo here, and you look at the mouth, and then he takes his glasses off, you can see his eyes, and the nose kind of matches up, and you know that he's done, Mrs. Doubtfire, and he's dressed up as other individuals. Listen to the voice. I think Robin Williams actually might be alive. I'm going to zoom in on this so that we can actually see it. Now, listen to this. Tell me what you think about this. Now, this goes back to, folks, to where my suspicions, as well as Jenny's and Figgy's, that they're wearing masks. They're going into hiding. They're announcing their deaths, and they're actually hiding in places. Listen to this. Listen to his voice. Watch his face, and then look at Robin Williams. Just go back and forth. And I'll be honest, folks, I am like 99% positive this is actually Robin Williams.
Well, you know what the good book says. Let your light so shine before men that they would see your good works and glorify your God. In a word, I'd be like, this is all because of Jesus. I'd be dead in a gutter somewhere if it weren't for him. He changed my life. He changed my soul. He changed my life. He changed my heart. He gave me a new life.
Do you think that's Robin Williams? Gave him a new life. So he passed on in the eyes of the world, but now he's living a new life and he's free. What do you think?
It's possible. I do. I'm a firm believer that these things, people's, whatever is they're not, they're wearing some type of meat suit, skin suit, mask, something.
I'm going to be perfectly honest. I don't think it's him.
It sounds a lot like him. I'm a very big.
But there's a lot of impersonators that can do that.
There
voice.
are.
And yeah. So I'm not going to say either or, but the vibration I get, that's not him. It's like a mirrored illusion.
You've got your people like our current president that clearly are not the person they once were. And then you have People like I used to really like Mike Pompeo, but if you look at him now, he's like a whole different dude. And that to me, I mean, that's where I get into my masks. I won't rule anything out because I don't know, but she is. I do agree, Jenny. There's a ton of really great impersonators out there, and maybe if he was more in the limelight, we could go with the mask there. I leave it. On that 50. It could be. It couldn't be.
Now,
And if it was him, why would he expose himself? It's like a game. This is like a major ass game. Like, okay, we can do this. It's kind of like what they're saying. And you need to pay attention. This is just a bit wake up, pay attention, because we can be anybody. We're a ghost in the machine.
Yep. Now look at this. Remember the cubes I was telling you guys about? Look at this. IBM Quantum Update. Q System 1 launch. New collaborators and QC center plans. This is a giant. It's 2 giant cubes with some big black something. Almost looks like a head in the middle. Right in the side of this cube. It's a Q system. And it's not a new launch. They're just letting you know that, oh yeah, we've got this, and yeah, it's been doing it. They leak it to us well after it's already been implemented and working. Now
I have a photo that I drew, and I think I sent it to you. I can show it again. It's like a corridor that I walked through, and it was black hallway. And these rooms would light up when I walked down it. But at the end of the hall, it looked like that, like a doorway, like, yes. But it was like a door, and it was bright in there. But as I walked down the hall, each room it looked like a showcase, and they were like skin bodies with no face.
Yeah.
And they lit up when I was walking down the hall. And I'm like, are these skin suits? And I just kept walking.
Yeah, you see this.
There was the shadow shape in the middle.
The whole outside is a cube. This almost looks like a black angel of death. I mean, look, like his robe is open in the middle, and then he's got his sides where his arms are, and then like this is his head, and like almost like he's got some form of a halo over top. But this is black. That looks like a black angel, like angel of death, like his robe is open in the middle. But I'm gonna have to read this to you guys. I want you guys to listen to this. IBM made 3 significant quantum computing announcements at CES this week. Here we go with the 3-letter stuff, right? One was introduction of IBM Q System 1. It's really the integration of IBM's existing 20-qubit platform into a more robust, self-contained package, embodying what will be required as quantum computers move from the lab to the workplace. System 1's glass enclosed is not only cool looking, but also a Faraday cage. Big Blue also announced expansion of the IBM Q network of quantum collaborators. ExxonMobil, CERN, and Argonne National Laboratory are among the new members, and plans to open the first IBM Q Quantum Computing Center in New York. I can't even say that name. Poughkeepsie, New York this year? Poughkeepsie? Is that a place there in New York there, Fig? Do you know?
I think it's Poughkeepsie.
Yeah, Poughkeepsie. Yeah, something like that.
Poughkeepsie, yeah, okay. Rolling out the QC news at the Consumer Electronics Show may seem an odd choice. Well, isn't this interesting? IBM, CERN, all being linked up together. Now, here's another really fun, interesting fact about IBM. Check this out.
Yeah.
The weather company's primary, this is from the Weather Channel. Okay, the Weather Company's primary journalistic mission is to report on breaking weather news, the environment, and the importance of science to our lives. This story does not necessarily represent the position of our parent company, IBM.
Who is the founder of IBM? That was Bill Gates' father, and he was involved with the Nazis. So, connect the dots.
Hell. Like there's some, like I had no idea. Now here's the thing: the founder of the Weather Channel, like the CEO, president, founder of the Weather Channel, I've heard him multiple times speak, and this guy is extremely educated. I mean, he's got so many degrees in weather and meteorology, like all kinds of stuff, and he's a brilliant guy, and he comes out against these climate controllers and whatever, and weather manipulation. I mean, he literally comes out and speaks about it. He's like, there is no global warming being caused by man. He goes, his literal quote was, there is more pollution put in the atmosphere from one volcano exploding than all of mankind in the last 500 years. So if you take that into consideration, it's not us that's causing the global warming. And another quote of his is that the global warming is a real thing. However, it is a natural thing. It is a cycle. That's why we have ice ages and then we warm up. Yes, we get warmer. Global warming is a real thing. We warm up and then we have a little ice age and then we come out of the ice age again. It's a regular occurring cycle. So
it's a cycle of fear that are putting into the masses, thinking that we're the ones that are doing it so that they can have control. Well, it's not working anymore. And you know what? IBM, and you go down these rabbit holes, and Bill Gates, I just had to spite. I mean,
oh yeah,
that guy,
so spiteful against
he's
that.
the one that's for climate change. He's the one that's buying up farmland. He's the one that's saying he's gonna, reduce the cows because the methane is the one that's causing, I'm like, please, a cow fart's gonna like blow up the atmosphere. I mean, it's just control. It really does upset me. I can't stand that man.
Oh yeah. Here's that right here. It's on Brady on the panic sweeps across China as the banker running out of money. The crash is coming, folks. It's starting to happen.
Remember I told you a while back that I saw a red dragon? What do you think about this?
I do remember that.
And China is holding on to their wheat. I mean, they know what's going on.
Yeah, remember I told you when you were talking about the red dragon, I was like, that sounds like China to me because China, that's their national animal. And figure that kind of brings us back to biblical stuff when we were talking about, when you sent me that in Revelations. And I'm like, well, these different animals are representative of different nations, like the bear being Russia, us being the eagle. The lion's mouth, mouth of the lion actually could be representative of Trump because he's also Jewish, and that being, the Lion of Judah, or King David, whatever. So it's all tied together.
Yeah.
So folks, let us know what you think. Hopefully this is a little informational for you. So you guys are kind of have some things to research and look for yourself. See some of this. I mean, you don't have to believe a word we say. In fact, I'd rather you not. I'd rather you go look it up for yourself. Start digging, doing some research, and finding out, holy cow, there's a lot of truth to this. Is there anything else that you guys like to add this afternoon?
No, just keep an open mind. Keep an open mind and, take things at face value and what they say. And, if things seem a little funny or words seem a little funny, look up that word because sometimes they change words around and they mean something completely different. It gives complete different context.
Oh yeah. And don't just look at like what a word means, but like go deeper.
Go the etymology.
Go way back as far as you can to really find out what the root is, because that's what they're using. Right?
Yep, absolutely. Look for the etymology. Just keep an open mind and just keep looking and quit playing the game, quit playing their game and start adhering to what you feel is right inside of you.
Oh yeah, definitely. Anything you'd like to add, Jenny?
Yeah. Don't live in fear and the fear of the unknown, but just knowledge is power. The more that you find and see, you're not alone. You're just not alone. And know that some people will call you a conspiracy theorist, but it looks like the conspiracy theorists are truth. It's all about truth, love, and love is the only way forward. Like Jacob always says. I love that line.
I'll say, hey, you're stealing my line here.
Yeah, but you stole my amaze balls.
Both the no fear and love is the only way forward. You're stealing my stuff.
That's right. It's amaze balls.
Well, it's the truth though, and that's the thing. Don't live in fear, folks. I mean, are there a lot of things going on? Yeah. Are these unsettling times? Yes, but that doesn't mean you need to fear it because change is going to happen. We just need to keep our eyes open to know which is the better way. Because, like we said, they're playing both sides, trying to look like good guys, bad guys. So that way, they still want to be worshipped. They still want us to believe in them and follow them. So they're going to have bad guys and good guys, bad with the bad guys, and then follow these guys. These are the good guys. Nope, no more of that. It's all an illusion. It's a chessboard.
And send stuff in, like, keep the videos coming, ask the questions, just send them to Jacob. He's very good about showing everybody what needs to be seen, and he wants you to send it in. Don't be afraid to do that. We want to see what you have to say.
Yeah, send your stuff in. I mean, I've put my email is under the about section on YouTube. It's jwashooter77@gmail.com. You can also reach out to me on Telegram. On Telegram, it's Jacob of Ephraim. You'll find me on there as well. And if you want your voice to be heard, come on. We'll let your voice be heard. We'll actually interview you like I'm interviewing with Jenny, and we'll try to make it work out where I can get my co-host and partner in crime Figs on board, and we'll interview you. We'll ask you some questions. We'll go over the stuff that you're presenting, things that you're seeing, and so that way we can get the word out. I mean, how else are people going to know if you don't have a platform to speak on? This is the platform. This is y'all's platform. This is for everyone to hear what other people are seeing. I'm trying to still nail down a time frame where non-conformista and her and I can actually hook up and do an interview with Figgy as well, and we can go over the stuff that she has to present from living in a Star Fort town. Because if you guys have watched any of my older videos on Star Forts, I've got a slight little affinity kind of obsession with Star Forts and the energies and stuff. And she's over there doing the readings. She's boots on the ground. She knows about all the stuff going on. So yeah, this is going to be interesting. This is what it's for. That's why this particular segment of Psycho Clown World is for you guys, because you guys are noticing stuff. Let me know what you're noticing. So let us know in the comments what you think. If you want to reach out, reach out. But everybody stay safe. So remember, folks, your eyes open, no fear, and love is the only way forward.